Have you ever felt like you're in a relationship that's running on a set of invisible, constantly changing rules? You know, a game where you just can never seem to get ahead? Well, today we're going to crack open the playbook for that exact game, the one orchestrated by a narcissistic personality. We're going to break down the rules, the tactics, and yeah, the ultimate goal of a game you might not have even known you were playing. Look, let's be super clear about the stakes right from the get-go. This quote from our source material, it says it all, doesn't it? Knowledge isn't just power in this situation. It's literally your primary defense. Trying to navigate this without understanding the playbook is like walking onto a minefield completely blindfolded. You've got to learn the rules just to even understand what you're up against.
All right, so let's dig into the foundational problem here. See, we usually assume that both people in a relationship are playing the same game, right? With the same goal of, mutual respect and happiness. But that's the very first mistake. The game with the narcissist is fundamentally and intentionally unfair.
This right here lays the whole conflict bare. On one side, you've got the pillars of any healthy connection: logic, ethics, respect. You're trying to play chess, but the narcissist, they are playing a completely different game. One that's built on chaos, deception, and this obsessive need for absolute control. They aren't trying to win by the rules. They're trying to win by completely destroying the game board itself.
And this is what's so incredibly maddening. Just when you think you've finally figured out a rule, just when you feel like you're getting some stable ground under your feet, poof, the narcissist reinvents the entire game. The goalposts are always moving. This isn't about winning or losing a point. It's about keeping you perpetually off balance, trapped in their maze.
So to really understand this unfair game, we have to try and get inside the head of the player. What is driving this behavior? What's their totally distorted perception of reality? Okay, this is the core concept you have to grasp. According to our source, they don't see you as a separate, independent person. Not at all. You are seen as their shadow. And what does a shadow do? It just follows. It doesn't have its own ambitions, its own friends, or its own opinions. So the moment you try to be your own person, you're not just disagreeing with them. In their mind, you are defying the very laws of nature. And this leads to a very, very simple, almost binary system. As long as you play that role of the obedient shadow, you're considered good, and the manipulation might just be this low hum in the background. But the second you defy them, the second you assert your own identity, you become not good. And that's when the manipulation isn't just turned up a notch, it becomes severe and honestly pretty punishing.
Okay, so we're starting to understand the mindset. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the actual plays they run? This section covers the most common and most damaging tactics you'll see on the field.
First up, triangulation. This is a classic. The narcissist brings another person, maybe an ex, a friend, a family member, into your dynamic, all to create competition and insecurity. But here's the no-win twist. If that third person eventually leaves the picture, the narcissist doesn't celebrate your win. Oh no. Instead, they'll blame you for scaring them off or for ruining that relationship. You are set up to lose no matter what happens.
Next up is the slow, methodical process of isolation. And it really is a playbook, a four-step process. First, they'll subtly, or sometimes not so subtly, discredit the people who care about you. Then, they'll actively create conflict between you and your support system. They might even target your financial independence to make you more reliant on them. And the end goal? It's to leave you completely and totally isolated, with them as your only source of reality and support. And here's a really crucial distinction to understand. The silent treatment can actually take two forms. Punitive silence is a direct punishment. You know exactly what you did to deserve it. But emotional withdrawal is often way more damaging. It's a sudden, cold detachment for no clear reason. It's designed to make you feel confused, anxious, and desperate to figure out what you did wrong, which puts you entirely on the defensive. You have to understand, chaos is the narcissist's native language. They thrive in it. This can look like explosive anger out of nowhere, or disappearing for days and then showing up like nothing ever happened, or creating multiple overlapping crises just to keep you overwhelmed. And notice that last point. Their best defense is a relentless offense. They keep you so busy defending yourself against false accusations that you have absolutely no time to question their behavior. Now this is a particularly cruel loyalty test. The narcissist will casually suggest breaking up, not because they actually want to, but to see how you'll react. It plays directly on a person's natural fear of abandonment. And your response, to panic, to plead, to cling to the relationship is exactly what they want to see. To them, it's not a sign of love. It's confirmation that the hook is still in deep, that you are still totally under their control.
So we've seen the twisted logic and the brutal tactics. But you have to realize they all build towards one single chilling objective. Let's take a look at what the ultimate goal of this entire game really is.
So just take a moment and really think about it. After all of this destructive behavior, what is the end game? What does the narcissist actually want to achieve by putting you through all of this?
There it is. The source material is brutally clear on this point. The goal isn't to have a happy relationship. It isn't even just to control you. The final, ultimate objective is to break you down so completely that you are, in their view, useless. It is a game of total annihilation. This chart really shows you the economy of their effort. When they sense you might leave, their effort just spikes. They bring back all the charm, all the promises, but the moment they feel your loyalty is secured, that effort plummets. They only invest just enough to keep you in the game, and not a single bit more.
Okay, I know that was heavy, but knowledge is pretty useless without action. So in our final section, let's talk about the most important part. What do you do? How do you respond to a game that's literally designed for you to lose?
And here it is. This is the single most powerful takeaway from this entire explainer. You cannot outplay a narcissist at their own game. It's impossible. They will always change the rules. You don't win by playing better. You win by dropping the game pieces, turning around, and walking off the board entirely.
So, here's your manual for that exit. First, what we're doing right now, gating knowledge. It is everything. Second, you have to protect your boundaries like your life depends on it, because frankly, your emotional well-being does. Now be prepared. As you start to see through the facade, their attacks will likely get more aggressive. And finally, please listen to the people who are trying to warn you. The narcissist sees them as the enemy for a reason, and that reason is because they are your allies. And we'll end on this thought. Our source reminds us that after all the chaos, you have to rebuild. And while that process is incredibly difficult, it poses a really powerful question. What if this isn't just an ending? What if this is your chance to rebuild yourself from the ground up into a version that is wiser, stronger, and will never ever play this game again?